Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. The Prince Albert Firefighters Association is asking the city for additional fire halls. The association says this is the first year in the department's history that it's responded to more than 2,000 calls. Prince Albert Firefighters Association President Ben Hunter says the crew's workload has increased in recent years and that the city needs more than one fire hall like it has now. He says the increase in calls is partially due to city expansion, but also the fire department has been also dealing with more calls related to homelessness.
We have a problem with, it's not just a local problem, it's a regional problem, a countrywide problem with the unhoused. And we do a lot of outside fires, we do a lot of dumpster fires. It's just all our work is significantly increased.
The city says it's aware of the issue and additional fire halls are in the works, but due to financial constraints, the projects won't be going forward for a few years. Prince Albert police are investigating a death over the weekend. Police sent out a notice on Saturday afternoon advising the public to avoid the 700 block of 18th Street West as there was an increased police presence in the area. Police say a call for service involving a theft was made. Officers located a deceased man inside the residence. The Major Crimes Unit and Saskatchewan Coroner's Service continue to investigate. An autopsy is scheduled for today. RCMP in Dillon have seized drugs and weapons from a residence on Buffalo River Dene Nation after executing a search warrant. Dillon RCMP, with the help of the Meadow Lake Crime Reduction Team, executed the search warrant on Thursday, arresting 2 males at the residence. Officers found and seized about 484 grams of cocaine, a large sum of cash, a loaded handgun with a missing serial number, and a rifle. Dang Dang and Kual Kual, both 21 from Calgary, face multiple drug and weapons charges. Both were scheduled to appear in provincial court in La Loche today. Saskatchewan's first proposed uranium mine in more than 25 years is making its case to federal regulators this week. Denison Mines is front and center at a public hearing held by the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission being held in Saskatoon. The commission will hear presentations about Denison's Wheeler River project in the Athabasca Basin in northern Saskatchewan. Much of the focus is on Denison's consultation with First Nations and Indigenous groups, which date back more than 10 years. English River First Nation, which has a history of dealing with uranium companies for decades, says Denison is embarking on a different kind of relationship between industry and First Nations.
Is done so in a way where the English River First Nation has actually been consulted, and in this situation they have obtained our free, prior and informed consent.
Once the hearing completes, the commission will take up to 4 months to come to its decision on either approving or denying the company's ability to start construction. A Saskatoon nurse is turning her birthday into a humanitarian mission. Instead of gifts, she's asking for donations to help send warmth to people living through blackouts in Ukraine. Tanya Baran has been in Ukraine for 6 weeks now. She will be there until January. She's the medical lead for the humanitarian group Ukrainian Patriot, which was started by a Saskatoon woman who now lives in Ukraine. Since the war broke out in 2022, Baran has made it her mission to help fighters on the front line with supplies. Her birthday was December 9th, and instead of gifts, she's asking for donations to send blankets to Ukraine.
The hums of generators are constant, that it just becomes like another background noise that we have to listen for. So it's tough times right now, I have to say.
It's the second year she's taken on this birthday fundraiser. Last year, she raised $1,200 and sent a box filled with medical supplies to the front lines. Friends, family members, and aviation community gathered this weekend to remember a war veteran who survived multiple plane crashes and lived to the age of 103. Reginald Harrison, nicknamed Crash, flew 19 missions in the Second World War, including D-Day, and survived 4 plane crashes caused by mechanical failures, bad weather, and friendly fire. Harrison grew up on a farm near Pheasant Forks, about 125 kilometers northeast of Regina. He earned his wings in April 1943 before being posted to Croft, England. He received several honors for his service, including the French Legion Honor and the King Charles Coronation Medal.
After the first crash, he stayed. He went back in the air. After the second crash, back in the air. And then he kept doing that. Men like Reg don't come around very often, and we all have to be grateful that they did.
During that era, very few survived, even in training, let alone the war. And having 19 missions in enemy territory and surviving 4 plane crashes is absolutely remarkable.
Harrison died on November 20th, and his funeral was held on Saturday. A Saskatoon woman accused of killing her husband is heading to trial. 42-year-old Danny McGowan was found dead at the couple's Corman Park home on August 23rd of last year. His wife, Lauren Bessie, was originally charged with first-degree murder. It's been reduced to second-degree after a preliminary hearing under a publication ban. Bessie has chosen to be tried at the Court of King's Bench before judge and a jury. Trial dates are expected to be set in the new year. Well, Jeff, you were right. That was a cold weekend, but boy, what a difference the sun made today.
The sun made today, and a bit of a push of warm air ahead of this storm front that's coming through. I say storm front, but certainly a clipper system that's coming our way. Usually some warm air ahead of a clipper system, and that's certainly in evidence today. So temperatures are still below seasonal, but not nearly as cold as it was over the weekend. You're right about that, John. We're going to keep our eye on this system. It's not so much north of the Yellowhead. It's sort of along the Yellowhead. That's often the way these storms track. We do expect about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow in the Prince Albert area, and we'll talk about those numbers later on.
The province, as Jeff said, is expecting some hazardous wintry conditions lasting until tomorrow. A swath of freezing rain and snowfall is expected to hit Saskatchewan from now until Wednesday morning. Environment Canada is warning Saskatchewans to stay safe on the roads and sidewalks, especially due to the freezing rain.
So, I mean, when you're driving through tomorrow morning, you're going to want to budget extra time because it is going to probably be a little bit slick on the roads, especially even into the highways. That highway between Saskatoon and Regina, you could see some difficulties there.
The southeast parts of the province are also expected to be hit with strong winds on Tuesday evening. One of Canada's oldest mechanical Christmas displays is back for another season in Saskatoon. For decades, families have made it part of their holiday tradition thanks to the work of one busy volunteer. Laura Woodward explains.
This is where the magic happens, Randall Simpson's workshop. But unlike Santa, he's not building toys. He's fixing the Once Upon a Christmas display.
The majority of what you see here was built in 1946.
Originally commissioned by the Eaton's department store, built with war surplus materials and shown in Winnipeg. Over the years, it's traveled across the country until 1977, when it was consolidated at the Saskatoon Eaton store, later acquired by the Western Development Museum, where it's been a holiday fixture for 38 years.
What's interesting is you look through the original display, and there's no reference to Rudolph. Because he never existed until 1947, when Burl Ives sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of Simpson's favorite displays is Pumpkinhead, the sad little bear, created by the same Canadian cartoonist behind Bugs Bunny.
His story is that he's got a bad hair day, and all the other bears make fun of him, but he's the only one that can wear a special hat to go with Santa on his sleigh.
Behind each little movement is a lot of mechanical work.
It's really, really simple technology. There's no electronics in this whatsoever. Everything's mechanically run.
And some of the belts are still the 80-year-old originals.
I am primarily involved in maintaining and keeping it running because it does break down a lot.
And Simpson does all of it without any formal mechanical training.
I was raised by a father who was born on a farm and has a economic gene in him, and he instilled that with me, and so anything I can do myself I do because I got more time than money.
And it's Simpson's dedication that keeps this Christmas tradition running. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
When we come back, more talk of Christmas trees, this time at the legislature. Wayne Mantika finds out how MLAs are finding the new tree. An extremely large Christmas tree has been unveiled at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. It towers over 20 feet high and features thousands of lights. The tree has helped MLAs get in a festive spirit. Wayne Mantika reports.
MLAs sang carols at the Legislative Building as the new Christmas tree was unveiled. It's the centerpiece in the rotunda, where visitors and MLAs pass through daily. The Premier paused to admire the tree while talking to reporters.
I'll appreciate Christmas this year.
The artificial tree stands over 20 feet tall and is somewhat larger than the one it replaces. The previous tree had worn out after years of assembly and disassembly. MLAs took turns using the new tree as a backdrop for recording their Christmas messages.
I love the new tree. I love the bright lights, and I love all the poinsettias and the holiday cheer. I think we should have a big holiday event. I know Manitoba's legislature has an open house at the holiday season and brings folks in. So, yeah, I love the Christmas spirit in the legislature.
The tree will be on public display throughout December as part of daily public tours of the building. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Jeff's got a look at the weather, which will be coming up next, plus the federal government's plan to fast-track permanent residency for international doctors. So, Jeff, I'm guessing we don't want to be doing too much driving if we don't have to in the next sort of 48 to 72 hours?
Well, certainly in areas, once we get south of the Yellowhead, a risk of freezing rain in and around the Saskatoon area. Not so much for Prince Albert. And then down south, certainly the possibility of freezing rain is there. But in and around Prince Albert, we're still talking about a fair amount of accumulation. And so there may be some visibility issues, although the winds aren't expected to be really strong, John. But we're keeping our eye on these clipper systems that are going to, a clipper system that's going to be moving through Saskatchewan into Manitoba, and as it comes through, as I mentioned, warmer air being pushed out ahead of this system, but in behind it, colder air, and of course, a lot more on the way of snowfall. So we're going to keep our eye on that system. And atmospheric river, look at this narrow band here. So it's really going to be hammering areas around Oregon and the Washington border area, basically right around here. This is going to be heavy hit. We could be seeing some nasty flooding in those areas, and there may be a possibility of floods in and around Vancouver Island, lower mainland in British Columbia, but the hardest hit part of the Pacific Northwest of the United States and up around southern British Columbia looks like it's going to be down close to the Oregon and Washington state border. Let's move on to what we've got going on. So, yeah, you can certainly see that in the futurecast there, the bright yellows there on the west coast. Moving into the snowier parts of the forecast, all that purple is sort of sliding out of Alberta and moving quickly into Saskatchewan. And as you can see, sort of rain in the southland. Mostly it's snow, but you see that pink band in between the purple and the green, and that is the area where there may be some rain-snow mix or some freezing rain. Minus 13 degrees is a popular number here for the overnight temperature. So we're dealing with some flurries mostly in most areas. Minus 13 in Spiritwood and the Battlefords and Candle Lake and Birch Hills and Nipawin. And then as we take a look at Rosthern, 1 degree colder at minus 14 overnight, and Melfort, minus 12 degrees for the overnight. Rolling into Tuesday, well, widespread flurries, some places getting more significant amounts of snow, and that snowfall, when all is said and done overnight into tomorrow, could be approaching the 20 centimeter mark, but let's say 10 to 15 right now, but some places may have localized amounts that approach 20 centimeters. So yes, it's going to be a snowy situation, so get ready to do some shoveling. All right, for the Prince Albert area, minus 13 degrees tonight. Clouds will increase as we get closer to midnight. A slight chance of flurries, but we do expect periods of light snow to begin overnight. And that snowfall will intensify as we roll into tomorrow. So 10 to 15 centimeters of snow for the gateway city. Not a strong wind, which is good news. Minus 11 for a high, which is just a couple of points below seasonal. And then the 7-day outlook for Prince Albert and area. And still expecting about another additional 5 centimeters of snow on Wednesday. Thursday, things start to calm down, minus 19, but ouch. Friday and Saturday, hey, look, lots of sunshine, but look at those numbers. Minus 26 on Friday, Saturday, minus 27. Sunday, it rebounds by 10 degrees. That'll feel quite warm. An even chance of some flurries on Sunday, and 1 week from today, mainly cloudy skies and 13 degrees. So a below seasonal situation in many respects, especially on Friday and Saturday.
Well, it sounds like we're going to be doing patio drinks then on the following Monday then for minus 13.
Why not? Flip-flop weather.
Exactly. Like you said, that'll be a treat compared to the week we've got coming up. Well, it was a busy weekend for the Raiders on the road, playing 3 games in 3 nights in Alberta. It began in Calgary, where the Raiders scored twice in the first period, but couldn't find the back of the net in the final 40 minutes. Calder Hamilton's first WHL goal earned the Hitmen a 3-2 victory. Then on Saturday in Red Deer, it was teddy bear toss night there, but 3 straight power play goals in the third period helped the Raiders to a 7-3 win. Then on Sunday, yet another teddy bear toss night, this time in Edmonton. After 2 disallowed goals in the first period, the Oil Kings got their goal in the second period. But the Raiders got the last laugh in overtime when a Daxon Rudolph shot went off the post off the Edmonton goalie's leg and in for the 4-3 win. Another 3-3 is coming up this weekend for the Raiders, 2 of them at home. More than 150 figure skaters across Canada competed in the 2025 Skate Canada Challenge in Calgary last weekend, many bringing their medals back to their hometowns, including Regina. Sierra D'Souza Butts has the details on the Saskatchewan senior pair gold medalists and what's in store for their future.
Merging their talents from Japan and Canada, this figure skating duo brought gold back to the prairies.
We had some injuries going into kind of the first couple of weeks of training for this one, but overcoming that and then again coming out and winning was really, really special for us.
Participating in the 2025-26 Skate Canada Challenge in Calgary, Tristan Taylor and Miyu Yunoki finished first in the senior pair competition.
We're just starting to get into that flow of just knowing where each other are at all times and just feeling comfortable with each other on the ice all the time. So it's more just how long you've been skating together is how that builds up.
After trying out at a training center in Colorado Springs in 2024, the two were paired up by a national and international figure skating coach.
They had a lot of great qualities kind of right away, just a really similar timing, similar way of like pacing their skills, attack to their elements. And so those things were all really helpful.
With the team being fairly new, Meekin says this was the pair's 3rd real competition, stating it usually takes years for a team to get comfortable with one another.
The fact that they're already able to deliver something, worthy of a win shows that they're a serious team and they really want to go after some big results as we move into the next sort of quad and the second half of this season even.
Our goal is going to 4 continents and World Championships.
Next year, the duo is hoping to take their talent to the international stage with the goal of competing at the World Championships and maybe one day the Winter Olympics. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Canadian Blood Services says it's looking for more plasma donors ahead of the holidays. The organization calls plasma liquid gold, saying it can support patients having cancer treatments or surgeries. They also say many regular blood and plasma donors may take the holidays off, so it's asking for new donors to step up. Canadian Blood Services says plasma donations are similar to blood donations. They just take a little longer, but the process is largely the same. It says they need 1 million new plasma donors, as it says expecting a 50% rise in demand in hospitals over the next 5 years. The federal government today announcing new measures that will make the path to permanent residence simpler for international doctors.
To recruit the doctors we need, to retain the ones we have, and to cut processing times to ensure it all gets done quickly.
As part of the plan, Ottawa will create a new express entry category for international doctors with at least 1 year of Canadian work experience in an eligible occupation. The government will also reserve 5,000 federal admission spaces for provinces and territories to nominate licensed doctors with job offers. The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Saskatchewan is confirming a man working as the head of a wellness centre in Moose Jaw is not a licensed physician in the province. After receiving a letter of concern from the Ministry of Justice about the services being offered at Goodnow Restorative Health Centre, the college says it does not have the authority to review the centre effectively. It's been referred back to the province, saying legal updates wouldn't be needed if the government expects the college to address any unlicensed practice. The government has also asked the Financial and Consumer Affairs Authority to look into the clinic.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, last week we showed you some gingerbread houses, a couple of spicy ones too. You had a good laugh at a few of what they had, but this one is, it's going a little bit to the west. It's in Norway, not Sweden.
Okay.
This is the academic gingerbread town. The University of Bergen invited students and staff all together to build this gingerbread town to celebrate academic freedom and also, of course, the freedom of expression.
So it features nearly 200 gingerbread creations, all along the theme of academic freedom, diversity, and democracy. Some of the creations took jabs at the American university system, the events of January 6th, and defending science and climate change. It's built up of 300 kilograms of dough, and it's meant to be an edible expression of the values that define the university and its global academic community. I don't know. I don't put that much spice in my gingerbread. I don't know about you, Jeff.
Well, they don't use a lot of spice over there either. Believe me, Norwegians are famous for their bland food, I think.
There you go. I always think of those gingerbread houses. How long are they going to last before someone eats it? Good night.